What's up, everybody? It's Michael from CloudApp. Hope you're doing well. Question of the day for this new issue of the drop is: are you really customer centric? Right. So odds are that we all consider ourselves to be above average drivers out on the road, when the reality is that's probably not the case. Only 50% of us are above average. So this same kind of idea might apply to being customer centric. We all know that customer experience is vital to success, and we want to be a really customer centric organization, but it seems that some data shows that that might not be the case. Some information out of eConsultancy showed that only a third of consumers believe that their favorite brands understand them and their needs, right? So not even their whole brands in which that consumers work with, but just their favorite. So there must be a gap. We've been able to find a couple of different things that might contribute to this. The Harvard Business Review put a study together and found that CEOs only spend 3% of their time with their clients. And the interesting part of that statistic was that when CEOs found out that that was the time they were spending with their customers, they were discouraged and felt like it wasn't enough. There's other factors too. Google put together some ideas of classifying customers into a single view and organizational silos as contributors to not being customer centric. And the good news is that there's solutions and ways to fix and deal with all of these. So what we invite you to do is take a deeper look, a data-driven look into your customer experience, and try and identify gaps and ways that you can lift your brand to a point where your client will say, yeah, you know what, this brand does understand me and my needs and meets those. If you reach that space, moving on to our Just For You section, it is also common knowledge that word of mouth and referrals, when it comes to creating new business, carry far more weight than traditional and digital marketing methods, right? A friend telling you that something is worth your time is going to incur its odds are it's going to make you at least look at it and consider it. So as brands, how do we facilitate that exchange? We put together in a post some tactics that you can use to help turn your clients into brand promoters. So take a look at that. There's a lot of detail in those tactics and what you can implement. As for our CloudApp tips, this time around, I decided to run a little experiment. So I wanted to test in my own little use case how much time we could save using visual communication as opposed to text-based communication. So what I did is I created a scenario where a website would need 3 edits, and I would time myself writing out the instructions of what I would need a designer to do to make those changes. And then I was going to take a screenshot and communicate the same thing through annotations and image. On my side of the house, I saved about 12 to 13% of my time in the difference between timing those two scenarios. I also tested what it was like for 2 coworkers here at CloudApp to receive those instructions and time themselves to the point where they felt like they adequately understood what I needed them to do. And on that same end, they saved 12 to 13%. So it's an interesting, fun little use case, and particularly for those in customer support, design and marketing teams that have a lot of back and forth. Those time savings can add up. And so you can read this post on what I did and put together and how it saved our time. I also reference Buffer, who is one of our use cases and did some similar things and show the time that they save by using visual communication. So encourage you to do a similar test. Communicate visually and just check out and see how much more it's going to help you be efficient in your day-to-day. And let us know how it goes. So take care, and we'll see you next time.